All right. Hello, class. Welcome to week 7, day 4. Today we're going to be going over the expectations for what I am hoping for you to get done today. Yeah, I think we can just dive straight into it. So the very first thing that I want you to do is complete a close reading of the male reproductive system. This is on page 33 and 34 of the PDF. It's the pages that begin to look a lot different than the rest of the packet. So yeah, beginning with teens health, um, looking at the male reproductive system. We're going to be doing a close reading of that in just a second. Really, all I'm asking you to do today is that close reading, so please take it seriously, take your time through it, lots of information, lots of good information. After that, complete any math homework from Miss Moore, review and practice movements from mystery class, and then 30 minutes of light cardio activities such as walking, running, or anything else that gets the heart pumping. And you'll be done for today for academic tasks. Alright, let's get that close reading. Male reproductive system. What is reproduction? Reproduction is the process by which organisms make more organisms like themselves. But even though the reproductive system is essential to keeping a species alive, unlike other body systems, it's not essential to keeping an individual alive. In the human reproductive process, two kinds of sex cells, or gametes, are involved. The male gamete, or sperm, and the female gamete, the egg or ovum, meet in the female's reproductive system. When sperm meets an egg, the fertilized egg is called a zygote. The zygote goes through a process of becoming an embryo and developing into a fetus. The male reproductive system and the female reproductive system are both needed for reproduction. Humans, like other organisms, pass some characteristics of themselves to the next generation. We do this through our genes, the special carriers of human traits. The genes that parents pass along are what make their children similar to others in their family, but also what makes each child unique. These genes come from the male sperm and the female's egg. What is the male's reproductive system? The male has reproductive organs, or genitals, that are both inside and outside the pelvis. The male genitals include the testicles, the duct system, which is made of the epididymis and the vas deferens, and the accessory glands, which include the seminal vessels and prostate gland. It's going to be hard to pronounce everything. And the penis. In a guy who has reached sexual maturity, the two oval-shaped testicles, or testes, make and store millions of tiny sperm cells. The testicles are also part of the endocrine system because they make hormones, including testosterone. Testosterone is a major part of puberty in guys. As a guy makes his way through puberty, his testicles produce more and more of it. Testosterone is the hormone that causes boys to develop deeper voices, bigger muscles, and body and facial hair. It also stimulates the production of sperm. Along the testicles are the epididymis and the vas deferens, which transport sperm. The epididymis, pronounced epidemis, and the testicles hang in a pouch-like structure outside the pelvis called the scrotum. The bag of skin helps to regulate the temperature of testicles, which need to be kept cooler than body temperature to produce sperm. The scrotum changes size to maintain the right temperature. When the body is cold, the scrotum shrinks and becomes tighter to hold in body heat. When it's warm, it gets larger and floppier to get rid of extra heat. This happens without a guy ever having to think about it. The brain and the nervous system give the scrotum the cue to change size. The accessory glands, including the seminal vessels and the prostate gland, provide fluids that lubricate the duct system and nourish the sperm. The urethra is the channel that carries the sperm and fluid called semen to the outside of the body through the penis. The urethra is also part of the urinary system because it is also the channel through which pee passes as it leaves the bladder and exits the body. The penis is actually made of two parts, the shaft and the glans. The shaft is the main part of the penis and the glans is the tip, which is called the head, sometimes called the head. At the end of the glans is a small slit or opening, which is where semen and pee exit the body through the urethra. The inside of the penis is made of a spongy tissue that can expand and contract. All boys are born with a foreskin, a fold of skin at the end of the penis covering the glans. Some boys are circumcised, which means that a doctor or a clergy member cuts away the foreskin. Circumcision is usually done during a baby's first few days of life. It is not medically necessary, but parents who choose to have their sons circumcised often do so based on religious beliefs, concerned about hygiene, or cultural or social reasons. Guys who have circumcised penises and those who don't are no different. All penises work and feel the same regardless of whether the foreskin has been removed. How does the male reproductive system work? The male reproductive system makes semen, releases semen into the reproductive system of the female during sexual intercourse, and produces sex hormones which help a boy develop into a sexually mature man during puberty. When a baby is born, he has all the parts of his reproductive system in place, but it isn't until puberty that he is able to reproduce. When puberty begins, usually between the ages of 9 and 15, the pituitary gland, located near the brain, secretes hormones that stimulate the testicles to produce testosterone. The production of testosterone brings about many physical changes. Although the timing of these changes is different for every guy, the stages of puberty generally follow a set sequence. During the first stage of male puberty, the scrotum and testes grow larger. Next, the penis becomes longer and the seminal vessels and prostate gland grow. Hair begin to grow in the pubic area and later in the face and underarms. During this time, the voice also deepens. Guys who have a growth spurt during puberty as they reach their adult height and weight also have a growth spurt during puberty as they reach their adult height and weight. What do sperm do? A male who has reached puberty will produce millions of sperm cells each day. Each sperm is extremely small, only 1/600th of an inch. Sperm develop in the testicles within a system of tiny tubes called the seminiferous tubules. At birth, these tubules contain simple round cells. During puberty, testosterone and other hormones cause the cells to transform into sperm cells. These cells divide and change until they have a head and short tail like tadpoles. The head contains genetic material, genes, and the sperms move through the epidermis where they complete their development. The sperm then move to the vas deferens, or sperm duct. The seminal vessels and prostate gland make a whitish fluid called seminal fluid, which mixes with the sperm to form semen when a male is sexually stimulated. The penis, which usually hangs limp, becomes hard when a male is sexually excited. Tissues in the penis fill with blood and it becomes stiff and erect, an erection. The rigidity of the erect penis makes it easier to insert into the female's vagina during sex. When the erect penis is stimulated, muscles around the reproductive organs contract and force the semen through the duct system and the urethra. Semen is pushed out of the male's body through the urethra. This is called ejaculation. Each time a guy ejaculates, it can contain up to 500 million sperm. What is conception? If semen is ejaculated into a female's vagina, millions of sperm swim up the vagina through the cervix and uterus to meet the egg in the fallopian tube. It takes only one sperm to fertilize the egg. This fertilized egg is now called a zygote and contains 46 hormones, half from the egg and half from the sperm. Genetic material from the male and female combine so that a new individual can be created. The zygote divides again and again as it grows into the female's uterus, maturing over the course of the pregnancy into an embryo, a fetus, and finally a newborn baby. Cool. So yeah, that's everything for today. Next week we're going to be looking at the female reproductive system. Pretty important information to be going over here. It would have been better to go over this in class. You guys can ask questions and stuff like that. But I hope you join me on these one-on-one meetings for a one-on-one meeting during the week, and we can get this all figured out. So yeah, I hope you're having a good day. See you tomorrow.